Hi and welcome to The Winning Factor. I'm Alan Aitken, and on this show each week I take a look at some upcoming races in Hong Kong and try to settle on an angle to the race that we might look back on later as having been the path to finding the winner. Well, Sunday racing at Sha Tin, and the first race I'm going to take a look at is race 8, where our winning factor is the draw. Now this is a class 3 over 1600 metres, and while a 5-year-old in Golden Empire does have a winning chance, most of our focus is like many races at the moment in this sort of grade. We're looking mostly at the 4-year-olds, with the standouts here: Ricky U-Train Voyage Bubbles, Casper Found's first up winner Capital Legend, and down at the foot of the weights, Happy Day. So let's take a look at how they've been going. So this is race 241, and Voyage Bubble, he's in gate 3, green and white hoops. Golden Empire is in gate 7 with yellow, red and white colours. Now Voyage Bubble bounces out of the gates into the box seat, and Vincent Ho on Golden Empire, not quite as definite. He looks around early trying to get in, but ultimately is posted 3 wide. Now the pace is set here by Golden Express, and this is a pointer to our other race if you want to take note of him. The tempo is soft in the second section before returning to average, and Voyage Bubble has a dream trip until the straight. Now you see him entering the straight. He's held up for a while the winner in the hood, Super Sunny Singh, has plenty of room, winds up, and he's already closed the gap between them before Voyage Bubble ever gets clear, with the winner's momentum taking him on to victory. So that was 1400 metres at Golden Empire, not much luck, a forgive run for him. And Voyage Bubble, well, I don't know if that cost him the win necessarily, but it certainly didn't help. Now, a week later, Capital Legend made his Hong Kong debut over 1200 metres, and he did it in some style. Now he's in gate 12 here, yellow and brown colours, and goes straight back to the rear in the slow early pace. Gets inside, looking to make some ground between horses and to actually be in front of a couple of runners. Now, see on the heat map, the speed increases on the circle from that very slow early section. So this is really a decent sustained tempo then from the 800 metres to the post. And Capital Legend, well, he breaks 11.3 seconds for each of the 200 metres from the 800 metres to 200 metres, and sustains that run to get over the top of his rivals in the last 50 metres. Now there were 1 or 2 faster final 200 metre splits on the day, but it was nevertheless a pretty impressive final sprint from the 800 metres from Capital Legend. Now he goes up to 1600 metres, a distance he's handled well in Australia in the past. And 4 races later, just for comparison on the same day, we saw Happy Day. Now Happy Day, he's in gate 2, purple and orange sleeves, and he begins well enough, takes a midfield spot, but notice the very slow first half of this 1600 metre race, significantly below average tempo. Now after the 800 metres, a couple of runners were very unhappy with how slow it was, came around to push the tempo up, but the serious work from the leader really didn't start until the home straight, making it difficult to make up ground. But Happy Day, he keeps on well from midfield to finish second, and Happy Together is the horse who ran the fastest last 200 metres of the meeting, and he's the horse in red and blue right down the outside. He's in Sunday's race as well. So to the map, quite critical in this race, because the first thing you notice is how little speed there is. It looks a test of horses who can take a position versus the horses who have a turn of foot at the finish. And up to 1600 metres here, I expect Golden Empire and Voyage Bubble will be forward in the race. Capital Legend and Happy Day will give them a start, but can sprint hard, as we've seen. Now, we've seen quite a bit of Happy Day, and he's always been best ridden quietly, but there is an unknown with Capital Legend. Now, in Australia, he always drew wide and therefore always went back to the rear and ran on. And he drew wide again first up in Hong Kong and raced at the rear and ran on. So whether he has the tactical capabilities to take advantage of finally getting a good barrier draw here is a question that hangs over the race. Because if he can sit closer and retain that acceleration, then he'll be the winner, even with a pace likely helping the front runners. So the tip in race 8, Capital Legend. His winning factor, the draw. Certainly it was an impressive win first up over an unsuitably short distance, and the getting a draw this time I think might see him a little bit closer in the running, and if he can still sprint like that, he's really going to make that acceleration count. The other race I'm taking a look at for Sunday's meeting is race 9, where our winning factor is the winner up in class. Now this class 3 over 1200 metres has a number of chances, but for me the race boils down to the 3 toughest to beat. John Size trained Golden Express coming back in distance. Manfred Mann trained Dream Pursuer, better for his nice Hong Kong debut run, and Zach Purton sticks with him. And Francis Lloyd trained Brave Star, a last start winner at Happy Valley in Class 4. So in the replay I mentioned Golden Express earlier, and he was in front in that 1400 metre race. I don't think that really suited him as it turned out, and coming back to 1200 metres here, I think we'll see him back in a chasing role as he was at his first Hong Kong start. Just a refresher of that. It's race 182 and gate 1, purple colours with yellow stars. He began well for Zach Purton, but was in no hurry, sitting midfield on the fence. Travels well to the home turn and full of running, but did have some traffic issues once they turned for home. So once clear of the traffic, he really stretched out and found the line strongly. Meanwhile, Brave Star has since graduated from Class 4 with a pretty impressive win at Happy Valley. This is race 264. He's in pink and brown diamonds, white sleeves from gate 11, and Brave Star jumps well, and both he and the short price favourite in the race dart across the front of the field early to take the front positions. Then Zach Purton on the leader slows things right down, and these 2 horses up the front are able to take a breath before they ramp it up again from the 400 metres. So the edge was with them in the race, and particularly with the leader, who had a head start on Brave Star. But Brave Star sprints brilliantly, swallowing the leader up quickly, then runs away to win impressively. Excellent stuff for a very lightly raced horse, still doing a few things wrong. And now he takes a step up in grade, but I'm sure he's up to it. And it's probably time to take a little detour and highlight his trainer, Francis Lloyd. And what I want to highlight with Francis is how well he does with his last start winners when they do rise in grade. The figures here are since September 2012 for the top 10 trainers ranked by performance against market expectation. And you can see it's a long-term examination therefore, and it's an area where many trainers do well. But Loy sits at the top of the table. And this isn't only a long-term thing. In the current season, he has already had 4 wins from 11 runners, winning and then rising in grade, and leads the pack once again. But in the name of labour-saving form analysis, which we all love, this might even be more useful to know about Loy. He's the only trainer on this table who you can blindly bet level stakes his winners going up in grade and show a long-term profit. How the race will be run? Well, when we go to the map, the gate looks a little bit sticky for Golden Express, who was in gate 1, the video we saw, but now is in gate 10. But I think there'll be good speed on. I think we'll see a more conservative ride on him from Sylvester de Souza, allowing him to switch off and run home strongly, while Dream Pursuer and Brave Star get the best of the draws of this trio, but I expect they'll also be ridden off the good pace too. And I think all 3 should really get their chance. But the tip in race 9, Brave Star, his winning factor, the winner up in class. I don't think there's a great deal between him and Golden Express. In fact, all 3 of the horses I've highlighted as chances are very strong contenders. But the statistics show that Francis Lloyd's horses winning, then rising in grade, are consistently a good bet. So that's the way we're going to lean. Well, that's it from the winning factor for this week. Good luck on Sunday. We'll see you next time.